off your credit report, that's detrimental to your credit score, right? So inquiries is 10% of your credit score. Now, there are a couple different kinds of inquiries. You got hard and you have soft. Now, the hard ones are the ones that hurt you. That's what we're mainly talking about, because those are the ones that impact your credit score, the hard inquiries. That's when you are attempting to get credit from somewhere, from somebody, some lender or what have you. That is a hard inquiry. Those are the ones that hurt you. Soft inquiries do not hurt your credit score. And that's when, like if you switch utility companies and they need to pull a credit report on you to see if you need to pay a deposit or whatever. If you have an employer that wants to look at your credit, or a potential new employer that wants to look at your credit, those are soft inquiries. They do not hurt you. You will have other inquiries. You have inquiries probably from your bank. They probably go in and take a look at your credit. You get pre-approval sent, or that credit card offer in the mail. They already looked at your credit. They looked at it, softly looked at it. They didn't do a full evaluation to say, yes, absolutely, we'll give you $10,000 at 3%. But they did take a look at it, and from what they've come up with, we can offer this person about $10,000. And you always have to read the fine print, because they can always snatch that back as well, right? So you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you look at your inquiries when you go to your credit report. You need to look at your inquiries, see who's pulling your credit in there. That's also a perfect place, the first place you should go if you suspect any kind of fraud at all on your credit. You need to go to inquiries, because every inquiry is going to show up. Every hard inquiry is absolutely going to show up, even before the account shows up on your credit. So that's the first place you want to go. You want to see. And if you see that XYZ Bank pulled your credit a week ago and you didn't apply to XYZ Bank, you need to start contacting people. Contact the credit bureau, contact that company that pulled your credit. You need to start contacting people, because they may have already gotten an account in your name. And say it doesn't even show up for 2 months. Now you have no idea that it's been out there. Say it's a credit card. They got that credit card in the mail in 7 days, right? They're always expediting credit cards to you, because they want you to use it and use it right away. So now they got their credit card in 7 days, and for the last 2 months, they've been living it up, and they haven't made a payment. So now that's stuck on your credit. So you want to go to inquiries portion. That's 10% of your credit score. So the inquiries are very important, because they take from you. No positive attribute at all when it comes to your inquiries. So that's 10. The last pillar, the last of the 5 pillars of credit, is going to be your mix. Sometimes you might see it on like Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, or something like that as new credit, or new credit, or new age credit. But this is your mix. This is the type of accounts that you have. So mainly there's revolving and there's installment loans. So that's 10% of your credit score as well. So if you don't have a credit card, which is revolving, you don't have a credit card, then you're not getting all of the quote unquote points for this particular category. But also, if you don't have a credit card, you're missing out on the credit utilization part too. That's 30% of your credit score. So no credit card, bare minimum right there. That's 30% plus this 10% that comes from your mix. So you're missing out on 40% of what your credit score could be without having a credit card at all. So your mix is very important to credit bureaus, because they want to see how responsible you are, and they're evaluating their risk on how you handle accounts. So you may have an issue handling credit cards, but you have no issue at all paying your car note on time, paying your mortgage on time, paying your student loan on time. All of those things, all of those kinds of accounts are installment loans. So you have no problem paying those, but you may have an issue with your credit cards. That payment fluctuates. So maybe you can't make the $100 payment this month, but you paid it down before, and when it was $25, you didn't have a problem. So they're evaluating all of those things for you. So the mix is 10% of your credit, and it's the last of the 5 pillars in this particular order that I happen to put them today. All right. So the 5 pillars of credit are what we talked about today. We talked a little bit about savings and kind of wrapped that up from last week as well. But the 5 pillars of credit, remember these 5 pillars. You want to be able to manipulate all 5 of these pillars in your best interest to get the best credit score. That's what you're looking to do. So like I said, not the last one, but the inquiries, that's not something you can necessarily manipulate, but you can control it though by not applying any and everywhere. And also your inquiries, they stay on your credit report for 2 years only. So not like a regular account that might stay 7 or 10 years, only for 2 years. And then after 12 months, The newer models of FICO don't even consider them anymore. So they no longer hurt your credit score after 12 months. Even though they stay on your credit report for 2 years, they don't hurt your credit score. So you've got that one. Then you've got so you got inquiries, 10%. You've got your mix, we just talked about, which is 10%. You've got the average length of history is what I'm calling it, which is 15%. And then you got the two biggies. You've got your credit utilization at 30%, and you've got your payment history at 35%. That's 100% of what makes up your credit score. Now, are there other factors? Are there other things that impact your score? Absolutely, because you got all those bad things that might happen. You got bankruptcies that be on your credit report. You've got it used to be tax liens that would be on your credit report. They're no longer there. If you still have tax liens on your credit report, call me 312-600-5855. It's dragging down your credit score, and it shouldn't be there at all. 312-600-5855. Judgments that used to be on your credit report. So all of those other things, collections that are on your credit report. So there are other factors that impact your score. But the main ones, the 5 pillars of credit, are the 5 we went through today. Payment history, credit utilization, average length of history, your inquiries, and your mix. So look out. Look out. You listen. You heard 5 pillars of credit right here first on the 800 Credit Score Man Show. Thank you guys for coming in and listening to me. Come back next week. To see what we're going to talk about. If you got questions, send your questions. It may end up on next week's show. So send your question in. Of course, I'm not going to put you on blast. I might just say your first name, and I might not even say that if I'm just going to do a bunch of questions from the audience. So come in next week, you guys, and check out the 800 Credit Score Man Show. You know how I got to do before I get out of here? Kobe, Cameron, and Carter, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm out.